There are two giant stories regarding China that are unfolding right now. One is the ongoing trade fight with the U.S. and the Trump administration, and the other is the ongoing protests in the streets of Hong Kong, where residents are protesting efforts by China to crack down on the island and reduce liberties there. The interesting question is, are these two stories related? Well, technically there's no link between the two problems. Both China and the U.S. say there's no connection between the Hong Kong protests and how trade negotiations between the U.S. and China play out. But implicitly, it's hard to believe there's not some connection. And the difficult problem in analyzing that is it's a connection that could play out in two quite different ways from China's point of view. On the one hand, President Xi may look at this situation and say, I've got two giant problems on my plate, one internal, one external. Maybe I should get the trade issue off the plate so I can focus on my internal problems, including Hong Kong, and also including an economy that's slowing down. And certainly the Hong Kong issue has the potential to create big problems in the relationship with the U.S. Just this week, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell wrote an op-ed in our paper, The Wall Street Journal, and warned of big consequences for the U.S.-Chinese relationship if the Chinese choose to crack down on Hong Kong protesters. So from President Xi's point of view, why deal with two problems if I can eliminate one and focus on the other? On the other hand, maybe President Xi feels that he's threatened internally right now, and so he needs to project an image of toughness. And that means that maybe making trade concessions to the U.S. undercuts that image, makes him less likely to want to cut a trade deal with the U.S., more desirous of continuing to fight on with the U.S. rather than project an image of weakness at home. If that's the case, obviously a trade deal becomes less likely. So it's hard to know exactly how these two issues come together, but it's hard to believe that they aren't connected, at least in some ways, beneath the surface.